When we left off, we were continuing the work on Makara, sealing up leaks.
What you doing up there?
Starting the band.
Yeah?
In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. Sometimes you gotta get them hiding.
What's down there?
I spy with my little eye. Oh wait, I spy a missing windlass. So this is our block for the windlass. It's probably about a 2.5 inch, something like that. Block of wood here on top. We've got the windlass, the main windlass here off. You can see the little gasket that was underneath it. And the hose pipe here. We're replacing the windlass with a manual windlass that we got at the chandlery. We were hoping to replace the motor on this windlass, which is the original, but they haven't made these in like 40 years. A variation of the company is still around, but they don't have any data on the old motors. They machine new motors to fit, and they've got a backlog on that. They're waiting about 2 to 3 months just to get the motors in before they machine them. So we decided to, well, we didn't know what we were going to do. We were looking at windlasses at the chandleries, and we had another electric one, but we just couldn't really find something that we thought would be worth it for the age of those windlasses. But the manual windlass is pretty basic. So it's like a 12-to-1 gear ratio. Not too much that can go wrong with them. Hopefully it'll work on this boat. It should. It'll just be really slow. But it will be a lot less work than pulling it up by chain, which is what we've been doing. Kind of always wanted a manual windlass because it's just one of those things, more things that you're knocking out of the park in terms of not having to fix and worry about as much. Right, the one less thing to break. They're kind of difficult to find and come by. They're not as common these days because most people have electric windlasses on their boats, and that's generally what people are putting on if they're taking something off. So finding a second-hand one is pretty easy to do. This is a simple geared ratchet both ways, 12-to-1, so we're hoping it'll work. We're going to have to cover up a few of the holes in the deck here because we have to move it. It's a horizontal windlass as opposed to this vertical windlass here. And this is the hose pipe. This is where the chain goes through. That's going to have to be moved because we kind of want a straight drop down from the windlass drum, and that's probably going to be over here somewhere on the starboard side. As much as we'd like to keep this here, I think we're going to have to seal them up. We can't really figure out a way to do it other than offsetting it, and even then it's not a real straight run up to the bow roller there. We'll see how it goes. Getting this block off's the first part, and then we can kind of position it and see what we like, and then figure out a base plate and a way to seal up these holes. But we need a windlass because we need to be out of here in like 2 days' time.
Yeah.
Because the cops do not want us here anymore. Well, the people of Gig Harbor do not want us here anymore. There's a couple of people out there that track you and report you, and the policeman has to do his job. So he said starting Friday he's going to issue us a notice if we have not gone.
And as you can probably tell, we were underneath the tarp there. That is because it is January here in the Pacific Northwest, so it rains a lot. A little break in the rain this afternoon to get started, but there is supposed to be quite a bit of rain tomorrow and the next few days. But like we said, we have that timeline to get out of here, so we have to get this project done, rain or shine. Got a little tarp rigged up to hopefully keep most of the rain off. Come free!
And that's the screwdriver in there. It's kind of digging through. Come on. These are all stuck pretty good. So close.
So close.
And that only took maybe a minute, 2 minutes in YouTube time.
Yeah.
So you could do that. that was fun. What's Hillary doing up here? Let's have a look.
I am unweaving the mounting plate and also the hose pipe because the chain's through there and we have to get the chain out.
It is, oh, here comes the rain. It is always fun doing these things on anchor. Makes you really utilize every little bit of the boat because you don't have any dock to do it. So all our...
I'm really glad we have a big boat at the moment.
It is good to have a larger boat because we don't have to do as many runs. We've got the entire chain pulled out from below now. It's about 225?
300 feet.
300 feet of chain laying up here on deck. That's probably where it's going to stay tonight. Well, actually, no, not that much because we've got 90 meters on the bottom, right?
True.
About 90 meters in the water right now, obviously, otherwise we'd be going somewhere.
No, not 90 meters.
Not 90 meters. We've got chain in the water. That's all that matters. It's raining. Over here behind me, you can see this is the public city dock here in Gig Harbor. It's a pretty nice little dock there. It's really nice. It's just a shame that you can't really be in this beautifully protected harbor for very long due to, you know, whatever US laws or city laws they have that restrict that. So good thing that Hillary got the tarp up here. That's going to keep it a little bit dry for us, at least for working on it. Probably not going to install this tonight. We are trying to figure out how to do like a block, similar like the one we're taking off, template to go under, and we'll also temporarily use a block to seal the old holes. We'll just go right over it. We're not going to epoxy them or anything right now in this weather in the winter. They're very large holes to fiberglass, epoxy, whatever it is. We're just going to leave it. We're going to seal right over it, which should do pretty good. But we've got a few more things to think about before we put it in there. And let's see if we can find Hillary in the hole. Sea feet of green, brown tops too. I see the rain that doesn't go away, and I think to myself, oh, I really miss Mexico.
Today we are very lucky to still have some dry weather at the moment. We went home last night and cut out a little mounting bracket for this windlass to go on.
Get the button stuck on and it just keeps going.
With the deck sanded and prepped, the next step was to cut out the new hose pipe hole for the chain to pass through the deck.
Some thick teak. So we always knew we had some thick teak decks. This is already worn down a bit over time. But I think this was about, I think we said 7, no, it'd be more than 7/16. No, it was a little under that. I forget what we said now. 13/16 or something like that, I think. Yeah, it's pretty thick. That's the next layer that came out. That's all fiberglass right there. I don't know what you'd say that is. It's maybe 3/8.
Yeah.
Something like that there. But that's a good solid piece of fiberglass, and the wood that came out was not rotten or anything either, so it's good to see that when you dig in.
Next, we began dry fitting the bracket and marking and drilling the bolt holes.
Okay. This is just gonna go up here. Oh, okay. Obviously no weight on it, so that's why. Should be alright?
Well, unfortunately we did not beat the rain, but the good news is we have the tarp prepared, so hopefully it stays pretty dry in here. Anyways, we just finished our little dry fit and everything seems to go together and it seems to work.
Should go one more. Might be good enough.
Alright, well, working late into the night last night, we managed to get the windlass fully mounted. It was late and dark and rainy, so not the best for getting any video footage of the final mounting. What we did to mount that windlass, we have a layer of butyl down underneath the first wood mounting plate, and that's helping to seal up all those old holes that we had in the deck. We did fill a lot of them with a thickened epoxy with wood flour. On top of that is another little mounting bracket that we Sikaflexed on, and then the windlass that's on top of that also has some Sikaflex. There's a bunch of bolts through it. We'll give it another tighten here, and then we gotta get on our way out of here. Okay, good.
Actually, I lied. Let's do the port side of that.
Port aft. Okay. Port forward. Good.
Side aft.
Port side aft. Okay. Alright, get this link through.
Before we could really test out the new windlass, first we had to feed all of the chain on deck back through the hawse pipe and into the anchor locker. Then came the real test, our first haul up of chain and anchor.
Adrift in Gig Harbor. The windlass has worked. Hillary did all the hard work.
Got the anchor off the bottom, all the chain lifted up. Now we just need to figure out the best way to get the anchor up into the mount, the roller, pulpit on the bow.
So what worked is what Hillary's doing there, a little bit of leverage with her foot. Lifted that anchor right over the roller, and then she's just going to lash it down.
As you can tell, it's a lovely day here. It's actually blowing quite a bit. We were going to put the main up. Not sure yet. We don't have the reef lines on this mainsail yet. We do have the staysail rig, so maybe we'll run the staysail up. It's ready to go. Alright, this is good here.
Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please remember to give us a thumbs up and hit the bell to subscribe and get notified of new episodes. Until next time.